guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Inyolu Ajayi and it's so amazing to be back here. Thank you guys so much for the feedback on the last couple of videos. I'm glad I could render help in the little way that I can. Like I said in those previous videos, I was also helped by others, so I'm very glad that I can render the little help that I am rendering. So without wasting too much of our time today is I'll be pretty much sharing with you on how to write your Chevening leadership essay. So you already know that I'll be looking down because I have my notes here. So, and this is the third part in the Chevening series. So if this is the first time you're coming here, did I introduce myself? Yes, I think I did. My name is Inyolu Ajayi. I film about faith, lifestyle, career, relationships, and recently Chevening. So if you have not watched previous videos, there are 2 or 3 other videos that you should be watching before this one. I'm going to link them in the description box. So please ensure that you watch them before coming to watch this one so that it can make sense to you. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get right into it. The Chevening leadership essay, I'm going to read out the question just the way it is on the Chevening website. The question says, Chevening is looking for individuals, excuse me, Chevening is looking for individuals who will be future leaders or influencers in their home countries. Not like social media influencing, where you get like influencers. Explain how you meet these requirements using clear examples of your own leadership and influencing skills to support your answer. Now pick your pen and your paper. So really, what Chevening is, and my goal really is that after this video, you should be able to like actually put pen to paper to write your leadership essay. That's the goal of this video. So let's go right into it. And then you're allowed, like the minimum is 100 words, maximum is 500 words, and they're very strict with this. So you don't want to like lose the opportunity of even getting your foot in the door because you underwrote. Of course, you can't even underwrite because how you write less than 100 words, or you overwrote. English. Yes. So you need to read that question like twice. So the first line says, Chevening is looking for individuals who will be future leaders or influencers in their home countries. Explain how you meet these requirements using clear examples of your own leadership and influencing skills to support your answer. So you're pretty much going to first read the question, digest it. They said 2 things, future leaders or influencers. So you're going to be using clear example of your own leadership and influencing skills to support your answer. Leadership, influencing, those are like the 2 keywords in this question. The first thing you must note is that do not focus on definitions. Like, don't do it. Don't define leadership according to Winston Churchill. Don't define leadership according to Barack Obama. Some people do it, but I feel like the people that are reading your essay, they know the definition of leadership. They are saying you should explain how you meet the requirements using clear examples of your own leadership and influencing skills. So even if you're going to like define leadership at all, it should be in your own context, like putting yourself in the middle of it. So, I said that I'm going to try to be as practical as possible. So I'm going to go into my Chevening essay and tell you how I started my leadership, this thing. So this was my first paragraph. All my life, I have exhibited the capacity to rally people towards a common goal and a character that inspires confidence in others. And this, I believe, is leadership. So I did not say leadership is the ability to rally people towards a common goal and to inspire confidence in others, according to Winston Churchill. No, I said all my life. This is what I have been doing all my life. All my life, I've exhibited the capacity to rally people towards a common goal and a character that inspires confidence in others. And this, I believe, is leadership. So I defined and I didn't define, if you get what I mean. So if you're defining, it has to be you putting yourself in the center of that definition, saying, if you want to understand what leadership is, look at me, that kind of thing. So that's the only definition that I think you should be putting. That's number 1. Do not focus on definition, but on examples. Show rather than tell. Show how you have embodied that definition you want to quote, rather than quoting that definition. The second thing is, you don't need more than 3 examples. I've reviewed, like in this short period, I've reviewed a couple of essays, like that my friends and people that just want me to like read their essays that they've sent to me. And see, the more examples you write, the less how do I explain this thing? The more examples you write, the more probable that you're going to lump everything up. So you don't need to be too wordy. Let me go back to my own essay again. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 examples of leadership, and you can even say I had 3 because 2 of them were university examples, 1 was law school example, 1 was post law school example, and then I now supported it with something in my current place of work. So you don't need more than 3 to 4 examples. Don't say stories and don't lump everything together. Sorry that I'm looking down a lot. My notes is by this place, and I don't want to I want to be as practical as possible. So I want to speak to you from my own essay. So don't aim to write too many examples. 3 to 4 is okay. So you should be focusing on maybe 1 in uni, 1 maybe related to volunteering or an organization that you have worked with, 1 relating to your current place of employment, and then maybe just a little one to support it. So you should really not want to have more than 3 to 4 examples. And this is how you should be structuring your examples. Okay, after you have identified your examples, the second thing I said is to avoid too much stories. Once you have picked school, what did you do? I'm going to read one of the paragraphs of my essay for you so that you can see the way I broke it down. The second thing, or the third thing I've said, the first one is to read and understand the question. The second thing is don't focus on definition of leadership, but define it in your own context. Put yourself in the middle of it. The third thing is you don't need more than 3 to 4 examples. Avoid too lengthy stories. The fourth thing is, in all your examples, do not hide under a team. Don't say, yes, they want teamwork, but they also want stars. So you don't want to be lost in a team. So don't say things like, I was a member of so and so, and we did this, we did this, we did this. What did you do? That's what Chevening wants to know. What you did as a member of the team. They are okay with team spirit and everything. I mean, you should have team spirit if you're going to be a Chevening scholar. But at the same time, they like stars. So you really want to identify. And there's nobody that is in a team that does not shine. I mean, if you are doing what you should be doing. So you should really be able to. That's why I said, I was saying I think 2 videos ago that so much thinking should go into your application. You don't just rush to write. You have till November to submit. Sit down and think. Once you think and you identify your examples, what did I do? We started an organization that maybe was about donation of blood. What did I do? Did I make the process technology driven? Did I share flyers? Whatever it is. So just identify what you did and do not hide under a team. The next thing is to give concrete long-term impact of your leadership activities. All these things, I'm going to go into my essay and read a few paragraphs for you so that you see me put these things into practice. So give concrete long-term impact of your leadership activities. For instance, you're saying something like, while you were in uni, you started, one of my examples was that I was one of those that started the Students' Council on Legal Aids that was for, what's it called now, to ensure that justice is served for students maybe that are invited to the disciplinary committee or to fight against student victimization. It's not sufficient for me to just say that's what we did. After I left, I had to add that this organization is now self-sufficient. It has replicated itself in a couple of other Nigerian universities. Do you understand? So, and it keeps on fighting for students that are being victimized. So Chevening doesn't want people that start something and the thing dies with them. It's all about sustainability. So you need to show how that thing is being sustained without you, and the steps you took to ensure that that thing is going to be sustained, basically. So you want to give concrete long-term impact of your leadership activities. Another example I put was when I led the press organization in my faculty. I stated it that, I started this, or not I started it, they brought me on to lead it. This was the percentage of our success during the term of my leadership. Now that I've left, the organization is still winning awards in the bigger press organization of the university. Just show that after I've left, I did so much work as a leader that this thing is outliving me. Very important to reflect in all your examples. The next thing I want to say is to start with your most powerful experience. most powerful leadership experience is what you should be starting with. You want to grip your reader from the very first. After you have, if you want to define leadership like me, putting yourself in the center of it, fine. After you have done that, you should start with your most powerful example so that you're gripping whoever is reading. That's something to note. The next thing I wrote here is it has to be more than your job description. I can't say that as an associate at GLS and Co, my leadership was that I was training or I was helping to train next associates, or maybe I was attending meetings or whatever. I was leading at meetings and all those stuff. That's my job. That's why they employed me. If I'm an associate, they employed me so that anybody that's coming behind me, I can put them through the work. They employ me to attend meetings, to attend to my clients. I can't be stating that as leadership. It has to be something you have done beyond what you should do. So for instance, you want to write an example that you like served a client or whatever. Serving a client is not a leadership example, is your job description. So you should be saying something like, you discovered that during COVID, you did not want to lose touch with your clients. So you influenced the firm to start something called a client depository, where you send emails to clients every month. And what this resulted in is that you were able to keep track with all your clients. You had 90% return rates after the COVID, like all the clients that you thought would have gone, because you kept in touch with them as a result of your idea. Now all these clients are back into the firm, you know, something like that. That's just like a very all over the place example, but you get what I mean. I'm saying that your job description cannot be your leadership example. It has to be something creative about the way you're doing that job, and maybe something innovative that you introduce into the way you're doing your job. The next thing I want to mention is use STAR. See, when I was writing my essays and I was reading this STAR whatever, excuse me, I felt like people were overemphasizing it until, I felt like people were overemphasizing, like over-hammering on it, until I actually had to write my essay by myself. This is like the easiest way to ensure that you're not saying too much stories. STAR is situation, task, action, and result. The situation. So let me go into my essay. So that this makes sense. I'm going to read a paragraph of my example for you to like follow me. So after I said that definition of leadership, I then said, as an undergraduate, I was appointed head of the most important student organization in my faculty, the press organization. The organization had struggled with the commitment of members, and this had greatly affected its productivity. That is the situation. That's the situation. Can you see the way I painted the situation? So the situation is that the organization has struggled with commitment of members, and it has affected the organization's productivity. That's the situation. I had declared yet Herculean task of reviving the organization. That's the task. Can you see? So these things need to be like very easy to point out in your essay. That's what needed to be done. What did I do? Action. I understood that vision and inclusion was important to the growth of any organization. I shared an inclusive vision, and we constituted a committee to chart a course for the revival of the organization, delegating responsibilities. That's the action I took. I created a committee. We created a course for the revival of the organization. That's the third thing. Now, we have done situation, we have done task, I've said the action I took. What's the result? This increased outputs by over 220% in a year. We also developed a mobile application to reach a wider audience, the first of its kind in Nigeria's premier university. Till date, the organization is still winning awards in the university as a result of the model I introduced. You see the way I use I. I didn't do these things alone. I worked in a team. But Shivi wants to know what I did in the team. So you can see situation, task, action, result, and sustainability. So I used my own as stars, STARS. So you write the situation and everything I did. This entire paragraph is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lines. 8 to 10 lines, you're done. 1 line or 2 lines to speak to the situation, another 2 lines task, another 2 lines what you did, the result, and then sustainability. How can we see that thing that you did not die with you? So that's like the first paragraph in my, after I talked about, all my life I've exhibited capacity to rally people. That was 2 lines. The next one was 8 to 10 paragraphs talking about my strongest leadership example. So you can see, I just read that paragraph to show you STARS. situation, task, action, result, and sustainability. So if you can use this model that I just explained and I just read to you in my essay, if you can use it, and if you can use it throughout your leadership and networking essay, those two, you really need to use stars. So if you can use it throughout your leadership and networking essay, and you restrict yourself to 3 to 4 examples, 4 at the maximum, you're not going to have issues. Like, your essay will make sense both to you and the person that will be scoring you. So I'm not going to, because I don't want anybody to like dub my essay or anything, I'm not going to like go ahead to read, but that paragraph adequately explains all that I've been trying to say. So what else did I write under leadership? I've read one example to you. So the last thing I want to mention is strong opening and strong closing. See the way I started. Let me go back to my essay. I started by saying, all my life, I've exhibited the capacity to rally people towards a common goal and a character that inspires confidence in others. And this, I believe, is leadership. That's how I started. My next paragraph was an example as an undergraduate. My next paragraph started with, in my penultimate year in the university, another example. This one was very short, like 5 lines. Then I talked about one example of how I exhibited leadership in my workplace. Now, listen to how I ended. My proven ability to lead and inspire people in and out of my professional career makes me an asset to my nation and to the Chevening network. You can see the way I started and the way I ended. Your start needs to be very solid. Your end also needs to be very solid. So after you have explained yourself, then say, all these things that I've shown you people, all these examples that I've written for you people, proves one thing, that I am a leader, and I'm going to be, after my stay in the UK, I'm going to be an asset to my country and to the Chevening network, because I already embody the qualities of a leader. It's no more than that. It's really not more than that. So if you can see, if you forget anything in this video, don't forget stars and replay this video again. Go to where I read that paragraph for you. See the way I did situation, task, action, result, and sustainability. Coin or sit down, think about your examples, your strongest leadership examples, write them and coin them using these stars in paragraphs. You don't need more than 3 to 4 examples and you're good. And don't forget word count, 500. Don't get lost. That's why I say every word needs to be serving a purpose. If you read a sentence and that sentence can do without that word, then that word should not be there. Just take it out. Do you get? So that is, I feel like if you do these things that I've discussed and if you like use that method, it's going to be a breeze through and you're going to make sense. You won't be saying too many stories. So that is it for my technique about writing the leadership essays. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the description box. I would still do like a final Q&A after all of these episodes, like after I've released all the videos, like a week to the close or 2 weeks to the close. I'll do like a final Q&A. Hopefully I get enough questions. If I don't get, I won't do it, but if you have questions, please ask and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you guys so much for coming to watch my video today. I really hope that this video will help you as you write your essays. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, send the word to everybody preparing for Chevening. And yes, I look forward to seeing you on the next video where I will be talking about the networking part of the essay. So catch you guys on the next one. Peace.